Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Nuvola webinar. I'm just going to hold off for a couple of minutes, just let the stragglers catch up, and I'm going to mute myself. Give yourselves 2 minutes to make yourself a drink, and then we'll kick off the webinar. Thank you. Okay, let's kick this off, everyone. As I say, welcome to Nuvola webinar. The webinar, as you know, is today just to talk about how we can enhance your Panasonic estate and any other estate that you might have in place that we feel that, or you feel that you want to go back to your customers and sell more, keep them loyal to you, etc. So today we've got the agenda. Very simply, I'm just going to do an introduction about Nuvola. I apologise if you've heard it before. I'm going to whiz through that. We're then going to pass on to Mark Hyland, who's going to talk about Sangoma gateways. And then, excuse me, move on to Darren Singleton, who's going to talk about the Yealink and the SpectraLink products. And then finally, Jeff Manser is going to be talking about the JPL headsets, finishing with me on a close and any Q&As you have. Any Q&As you've got during the webinar, please use the message. We'll pick them up, and at the end of the seminar, the webinar, we will go through those questions and hopefully give you answers to them all. Today, we will be recording this. So again, if you've got any colleagues that you feel could make use of this presentation, we'll be putting this onto our YouTube channel, but also sending it up on request. So just quickly on Nuvola, we started about 11 years ago. We started as a professional services company, white labeled services to the channel. From there, we evolved into Nuvola Distribution, where we continued with the professional services, but we turned into a distribution organization, and we'll go through the various products. The idea is that we offer you not only the products, but the services that you wish to deliver to your partners. It enables you to take new products on without having to ramp up on the engineering skills, or alternatively taking on new products and taking on the professional services from day one or over a period of time. The idea for us, there's obviously a lot of broadline distributors around who sell mass number of products. What we try and do is make sure that every product we sell is for a reason and is intrinsically linked with other products we have. We specialize in comms. We don't do IT. We don't do software. This is purely around communications, taking it from data through to voice to Wi-Fi and everything that surrounds that. So the teams that we have in place, they're focused on key vendors and technologies. And again, what that means is we can offer you not only the right price, the logistics, but also the technical support, the pre-sale support that goes around a new product that you would take on, or even an existing product. Something we're very proud of, customer services, and we'll come on to that in a while. So just around our presence, we obviously have, we our headquarters is in the UK, just south of Reading, but we also have offices in Galway and a warehouse in Shannon. You can imagine since the Brexit side of things, this has become very useful for our Irish partners, but also we sell probably about a third of our product into Europe, mainland Europe, as well as Southern Ireland. So it's a key part in order to avoid any of the customs side of things or the paperwork, logistics. We take that on, we put it in the warehouse, and we can ship it around, like I say, Southern Ireland or into mainland Europe. The dots are where we have engineering resource. So we have a number of engineers around the country in the UK. We also have access to resource in Southern Ireland. So again, it means that our partners don't have to take on that resource, that expenditure. They can just buy the resource from us as and when. And that includes services ranging from pre-sales all the way through to support and everything in between. So just some quick numbers around Nuvola. 5 technology arms, which I'll come into. We've been going for about 11 years, over 450 active partners, 20 vendors or so, 15 engineers, and quite a wide-ranging number of countries around the world. Some of the services we have, we obviously are very good at the logistics side of things, getting a box from A to B, and certainly in the Brexit world, that's no mean feat sometimes. We've got the sales teams, again, the 5 silos where they specialise in those particular products. We've got the maintenance, the support help desk 24/7. Along with that, we have professional services, like I say, ranging from installation services, training services, cut-over support. And then some of the key things that to a reseller is the finance side of things. So again, we look at things quite realistically when we're talking about credit limits. We listen to people if they're looking to do maybe a deal which needs extended terms. All those kind of things, we're pretty flexible in that respect. So please come and talk to us, and don't let that drag you down or pull you away from an opportunity. Please talk to us first. And finally, marketing. Obviously, marketing set these kind of things up, but we can set these things up for you. If you wanted to do some webinars for your customers, we're more than happy to work with you, give you some advice, help set it up, look at doing marketing campaigns, etc., working alongside you. So the reason for the webinar, we felt it was quite apt with some of the changes that are in the market at the moment. So one of the key things, and obviously the title of this webinar was around Panasonic pulling out the comms market. As we know, they've been talking about this for about 12 months, and come the beginning of next year, they will be officially out of the comms side of things. Now, obviously, in one respect, that could be quite a concern for your business, but at the same time, we see it could be an opportunity as well. What's going on in the marketplace as well? So obviously, you've got Panasonic coming out of the market. Samsung pulled out 12, 18 months ago. You know, I'm sure it's on everyone's mind as to who's next. Obviously, it seems to be a lot of the Asian vendors which are moving away, mainly because they've got a number of other products, TVs, obviously, handsets, whatever, where they see their better return is. And what that means is Nuvola are here to help and support you transitioning, whether it's to an Alcatel or to a cloud solution. That's exactly what we want to try and do. And for us, customer service is key. So you'll be talking to us as people there, and we're there to help you on pricing, on configuration, on advice. Happy to talk to end users, happy to talk to the rest of the staff, whatever it might be, to make sure that you can transition away or enhance what you have in place. So the enhancement comes with complementary products. So we want to prolong some of the end-of-life products you have, or maybe unsupported solutions, because going to a customer who maybe only bought the product 12 months ago, 18 months ago, to say to them, right, you have to rip it out and start again, is not going to win you any favors. So what we're looking to do is saying, right, keep that in place, but let's make it cleverer. Let's bring new handsets in. Let's bring new services around it. to ensure that customer sees that you are looking after them. And what that means is when you go and see these customers, you don't have to talk about, well, Panasonic are pulling out. You can say, great, you've got that great bit of technology there. What do you want to do next? Well, we want to add deck to it. We want to have some cloud services around it. We want to maybe put some contact center in there. With what we're talking about today, we're saying, yes, you can have those conversations quite confidently to ensure that your customers are happy with what you're selling to them. So just very briefly on the portfolio, like I say, five product sets. The first product set which we look at is around the intelligent networking. This is about the bottom of the network, in effect, the infrastructure, the platform that the voice sits on, the Wi-Fi might sit on. This is all about what if. It's about SD-WANs, for example. There's an adaptive product there which sits into remote workers, fits in very well with the new world that we're going to be living in, where people will be spending half their time at home. This adaptive product will actually guarantee quality of service, give you resiliency, etc., etc., etc. As I say, something you can go and sell into these customers. On the UC side of things, we'll be talking about a number of these products today: JPL headsets, the A-Link handsets, and the SpectraLink DECT product set. But alongside that, you've got Alcatel Lucent, which I'm sure we may have talked to you about. Again, a great complementary product to the Panasonic. And when I say complementary, it's the same technology. It's on premise. It works in much the same way. So if you're used to selling Panasonic, the transition to Alcatel Lucent shouldn't be particularly painful. You've also got Sangoma, who is a software-based PABX, but also still on premise. Alongside that, you've got contact center, and obviously you've got the ongoing Panasonic. We can still obviously get the kit from Panasonic. We can also, and I'll come on to this, we can also add services around that moving forward. On the meeting room solution, key part of products, again, a nice upsell if you have a customer out there who potentially wants to put an interactive screen somewhere. They maybe want to upgrade their video conferencing. Video conferencing and meeting room solutions, collaborations are changing. We have solutions where it's kind of bring your own collaboration software. So we don't care whether your customer's running Zoom, it might be running GoToWebinar, it might be running Cisco WebEx, Teams, whatever. We have technology where it's totally autonomous to the actual software product you're running to ensure that whoever comes into that meeting room, they plug in one cable and the screen they have a screen on the wall or on a trolley, for example, which becomes interactive. Again, high quality cameras, microphones, all built in one product. On the on the cloud side of things, you can see we've got the market leaders. So again, depending on whether you want wholesale or certainly agency side of things, we've got great solutions for you, whether you're selling 5 users, whether you're selling 500 users, we have a solution for you. Again, it's quite a consultative role there, because what happens is you'll come to us and say, we've got this opportunity, this many users, which is the best fit? We can actually give you the best fit, the best of breed. And then finally, we have professional services. Again, a key part of our product, something we've been doing since day one. And again, you can see and recognize some of those products which we can offer remote or on-site services to you, which you can then sell on to your customers. So just very quickly, like I say, all the various products. So on the options on the UCaaS side of things, wholesale or master agent, you've got contact center, call recording for Teams. On the intelligent networking, the monitoring, what if scenarios, gateways, SD-WAN solutions, unified comms, which is the kind of what we call on premise again, but it's now moving to hybrid. So you have some premise, but then you have some software in the cloud. You've got the data networking, so the data switches alongside the Wi-Fi. And then the various solutions, apps, whether it be call recording, contact center. And then we've got the A-Link SIP handsets and the SpectraLink DECT handsets, alongside some very straightforward JPL headsets, which we'll talk about. And then, like I say, the various services around professional services. Again, these are white labeled. We go in, talk to your customers as you, so it's all purely white labeled. And then finally, like I say, we have these meeting room solutions, which is totally autonomous to whatever vendor people are running there. So I'm now going to hand over to Mark, who is going to talk about.
Thank you, Michael.
The Sangoma. I can't present, pass you out. Oh, there you are. Sorry, Mark. Sorry.
No problem. So I'm going to make sure I pick the right screen. You see that? No?
Not at the moment.
I've been told no. Okay. Yep. Can we see that?
Not yet, Mark. We're still on holding screen.
Oh, okay. Show. Try that one. Is that working?
No. Tell you what, Mark. You just hold on, and I'm going to pass over to Jeff. Although, you've got. Do you want to pass it on to someone else for the minute while we get it set up?
Hold a second. Let me try one thing. No. Okay. I should be presenter. Okay. Right. Jeff, pass it over to you. There you go, Jeff. You need to unmute yourself. I'll unmute you for you.
Oh, that's better. Can you hear me all?
We can, Jeff.
Excellent. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
It does say it's sharing, so I've got the same problem. You can see it, can you? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
In that case, that must mean everybody else can see it. Hello there. Welcome. My name's Jeff Manser, head of UC. I'm responsible for all the on-premise hardware and software. Today, I'm talking about JPL, which are the headsets that we sell. The reason we paired with JPL is because it's easy to do business with. A lot of headset sales are an afterthought and difficult to do business with. So we felt by pairing with JPL, they gave us a much better support than the other high-end brands, which JPL is also into. Jonathan Nuttall is also here to support you. He is the UK sales manager, and he is very reactive and very supportive. So anything you need, pointing in the right direction, pricing, stuff like that, he's there to help you as well, plus the whole team behind it as well within my UC team. Oh, slide 2. Why JPL? Why JPL over Poly or Jabra? Well, they're a high quality UK design and manufacturing telecom. They've been around the market for since 2004. They do all sorts of headsets from entry level all the way up to high level, and and that's differences between either having leather earpieces or not, as the case may be. But really, the quality of the headsets all the way from the entry up are amazing quality, which include noise cancellation, comfort as well. They've thought about all sorts of things. Even there's hack. So for people that are hard of hearing, there is a way of changing it to T mode for those headsets to work as well. They also offer professional web cameras, and they have two, which is called the Mini and the Plus. And again, they're very good, high quality cameras that can be used on laptops or even on PCs. And what you find is that the user experience is far better using those cameras than you will on your internal ones. Most importantly, the personal support they give, and also Nuvola to support you guys in selling headsets and web cameras. It's really important from a reseller point of view to not be messing around with headsets and web cameras and making it a pain. And we will support you. We will support you throughout the whole journey, and really making a headset or a web camera an easy sell for you. What's most important is better margins. I've got a slide on margins to show you. You can make better margins on the JPL headsets, and also if you choose to, you can reduce the selling prices to win business as well. We've won a lot of large bids of 500 headsets and above because of the easiness of selling JPL headsets and web cameras. JPL are also on government frameworks like the NHS and the public sector, so you will find that they will tick the box if you're going for particular bids. Environment friendly by the modular design. And what I mean by that is instead of throwing a headset away because the ear muff is starting to break up, or you've got problems with the speakers, they are interchangeable. There are accessories on the JPL website that you can change certain parts of it, whether it be the boom, the headset, the covers, that you can renew your headsets instead of throwing them away. And lastly, the headset connections are every type you can think of, from Bluetooth, DECT, USB, and the Plantronics connectors. So what we've done at Nuvola, JPL do have a large range of headsets, but we have made it simple, and we've made it simple because we felt there is plenty of options out there in JPL, but we thought we'd concentrate on certain areas to say these are the ones that we can offer. So if we start in the left-hand side, you've got the JPL Element BT500D, which is a Bluetooth headset. It's a lovely headset with noise cancellation. You can use that headset with your mobile phone, a Bluetooth desk phone, or your PC, and it will swap between all three. So you only need one headset between all three devices. It's a great little solution. What they've done with that headset, they've actually provided you a very small dongle to plug into your PC. The reason being for that is that the connectivity sometimes on PCs does struggle depending on the PC you've got, because the Bluetooth protocols are different, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So by creating a dongle that goes in your PC, there's great connectivity and no loss of sound. Then we have the JPL Element X500, which is similar to the Bluetooth one, but it goes in a docking station. And in that docking station, you have different connectors. So you can connect to your phones via an EHS lead, or there is actually a modular solution where you can plug in a Bluetooth module, which will connect to devices via Bluetooth, or you have a USB connection module in the back of that you can connect to any device using USB. So it's modular connections on every device that you can think of. And again, it can connect to PCs, it can connect to phones, which is designed primarily for phone connections, or in some cases it can connect to your mobile, but it's not really designed for the mobiles, mainly to do with your professional phone and your PC. Then we've got the web cameras. There's two variants. There's one on the Mini, which is the right-hand side one, and the Vision Plus. These cameras also have mics on them, so good quality mics, again noise cancellation mics, and the video streaming is wideband. It's a wide angled viewing lens, so it can capture quite a lot of people, say in a room, using those cameras. Then we go to the right hand side. We've got 4 types of USB headsets. Anything with a 1 on it, it's mono. Anything with a 2 on it, it's got 2 speakers, so binaural. So the mid-range ones are the 4 series, the 401s and the 402s, and then the high-end ones are the 501s and the 502s. These headsets are all USB, and they can plug into PCs and work, as plug and play. There's no software, there's no downloading any firmware at all. You just plug them in and they work. They also work on USB phones as well, so professional phones. The other options down below is the hack, which is the hard of hearing. So that has a Plantronics connectors on it, the same as the JPL 611s. So you've got the 2 again. So it stands for Plantronics mono and Plantronics binaural. And they have the Plantronics connectors to allow you to use the different drop leads. And there's an example of 2 drop leads, one with a RJ11 and one with a USB connector. So it allows you to connect into any phone type. There's numerous variants of drop leads, and we will assist you with that. To give you an idea of margin, so Jonathan has done a great job of providing this detail to show you there is margins anywhere up to 44% typically with the JPL 502S. And you can see, as a reseller, you're able to make money on headsets. That, a lot of the times resellers say, I'm not bothered about dealing with headsets because it's too complex, it's time consuming, and I don't make enough money. You can clearly see here with the JPL solutions from the DEC, Bluetooth and USB, and also the web cameras, you can make good margins on these solutions. So don't make headsets an afterthought. Why not? So the reason being is, it is easy to sell. And with the support that we will give you from JPL and Nuvola, it will not be painful. A lot of the times resellers see this as being a painful solution, so therefore they don't get involved with it. But by our support and us supporting you through the full sales that we've got, the marketing, the technical support, via any device, via you want to pick up the phone and speak to us, email or text, we will make it simple for you guys to sell. It will be literally a case of Nuvola, JPL, what do I need for this handset? We will give you the details, we'll provide you the pricing. You just need to price your customers, and then you literally sell it. So this is all plug and play technology. So when your customers get the headsets and the webcams, all they do is plug them in and they just work. If you do want to know about details of how they work with certain headsets, JPL has done this compatibility tool. So all you need to do is pick the headset in question. You go to the manufacturer. So if I pick here, do an example for Panasonic, and you pick the phone in question and do a search, this will show you the drop lead you need. So this will do all the work for you, showing you the types of drop leads you need. And that gives you the details on the Plantronics connectors, as well as the EHS connections on the X500 as well. Very low failure rate. I've had none back. So we've been selling JPL now for a couple of years. We've had no failures so far, and it shows how good of quality these headsets are. Again, you just send them out there, you make your margins, and you've got happy customers. And we also see reoccurring. A lot of the end users do come back to us via our resellers to rebuy JPL headsets. As I said, replacement parts that they provide as well through their accessories. And also there is stock in the UK and Ireland, so we can do next day delivery. So no worrying about waiting for weeks and weeks for it to come over the border. Plantronics promotion at the moment, we've got promotion on to do with connecting to all those types of phones. I'm sure they'll connect to other phones, but this gives you an example of what this headset can connect to. And it shows you the ESL cable and also the different cables that it provides for you to allow you to work with the solution. I think at £159 or 183 euros, that is a good quality headset for your customers. So please come and see us about that. Just want to thank you for your time, and I will now pass over to
Jeff,
who's the next? Yeah, yes.
Can you pass over to me, please, Jeff?
I will do. I'll just pass over to Michael Lloyd. So many thanks.
Cheers, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Right, I'm now going to pass over to Mark, who's going to run through the Sangoma side of things.
Thank you, Michael. Well, good morning, everyone, and I apologise for the technical difficulties that we had. It's a crime that I've only got 10 minutes, to be honest. The products that I'm going to talk to you about are going to offer so much value and help you sell more technology to your existing customers. But anyway, I apologise for the noise in the background. It's the ice cream man, I think, going past our offices. But anyway, so very quickly, what you've sold your customers Panasonic product in the past. The product, as we know, what's the story about what's happening with the Panasonic product range. So what we really want to do is say, okay, let's help you, give your customer more technology, give you more value, more of a solution around existing product. We are going to be talking in the next week or two to you about how the Sangoma product range has got a complete range of products, including UC, IP, PBXs, IP phones, gateways, etc., but also cloud. But that's a complete sort of swap out. What I'm going to talk to you about now is the gateway capabilities that Sangoma can offer, which will take an old, rusty old Panasonic voice switch, maybe an analog or even digital, and actually make it relevant to today's IP environment. So in the UK and Ireland, I think is in the same position. The PSTN will disappear in the near future. It keeps on changing, but there's still a significant number of customers using ISDN in the UK and in Ireland, and a lot of these will be connected to old Panasonic switches. So what does a gateway do? Well, basically, a gateway will enable an analog handset, analog phone to connect using SIP into the cloud environment. So it makes them look like IP endpoints. We can also take an old legacy PBX, an old Panasonic PBX that's connecting into an ISDN and enable that to go into a SIP as well. And then also we can also connect, if you wanted, take an IP PBX and connect that into ISDN. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that, but that option's there. So very simple. If you BRI or PRI or ISDN2 or ISDN30, you've got your analog proprietary phones connecting into a legacy Panasonic PBX, connecting through an ISDN, the BRI, PRI, and what we can then do with that is stick the Sangoma box in between, connect it into the LAN and the WAN and the SIP trunking, and now that old ISDN PBX is now connecting and working perfectly in the new world. Target markets for this, and again, the ice cream man is getting very excited about what I'm talking about. So the target market is any business that's still using ISDN, and they don't want to replace that. They're comfortable with it, and it works. And why should they? So all you have to do is drop this box in, connect it up very simply, and it will basically work. So why you win with the gateways is very quick configuration capabilities, very simple. We can provide remote installation services. There's very high quality. The products are actually were developed in the UK, even though Sangoma is a Canadian company. There's all sorts of built-in redundancy features. You can have all the ports all the time. It's really competitive, very feature-rich. I mean, this is really good stuff. I mean, you know, really good quality, and it works. Simple. So the analog, I mean, this is another environment where you want to connect maybe analog handsets in a hotel or a care home or a hospital, and you've got lots and lots of old analog handsets throughout the whole estate. By putting in one of these gateways, these high density 50 port gateways, you can then convert all those old analog handsets into the SIP environment and even put them onto cloud if you didn't, you know, if you don't even want to use a PBX. So there's a number of successes. I mean, this is just a 500 room hotel, which is using a number of these things with 23 of these devices, gives over 1,000 ports. So a 1,000 room hotel is can convert those old handsets that are sitting beside the bed in all of these rooms, enabling them to be connected into the cloud. So the Vega digital gateways, so again, they come in 2 and 4 port BRI, and then also we've got the ability to go on to the PRI, ISDN 30s, and we could even go into multiple PRIs. The other thing which I haven't got in here is if you want real security as well, then and protection on the voice, you can also include a Sangoma SBC, which is a session border controller, which is embedded into the gateway. So not only does it convert the media, but it also protects the SIP connection. Right, so that's basically it. I probably now need to pass over to Darren. So let me try and see how I can do this. Yeah, which is where. There we go. That should be handed over to Darren. There we go. You have control.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. Right. Can you see my screen? I think you can. This is telling me you can see my screen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All good. Right. Great stuff. Morning, everybody, or potentially afternoon if you're watching this on YouTube. I'm Darren Singleton. I've possibly spoken to you guys before talking about other UC systems that we do here at Nuvola, but today I'm going to talk to you about a couple of relatively new products to Nuvola. We were very proud that these guys came to us and asked us to distribute them. The first of which is Yealink. I'm pretty sure you'll all have heard of Yealink or come across Yealink at some point in the past. They're a global supplier of voice, video and conferencing communications, established in 2001. Took about 4 years to become the world's top USB phone supplier, and they're currently ranked #1 in the world for market share of SIP phones. So a bit of a big deal. So yeah, again, you know, it's handsets and conferencing units that I'm going to focus on. That's kind of Yealink's bread and butter. I've only got 10 minutes, so I'm going to just breeze through a few of these product ranges. You may have come across these before, but this is what we're going to start stocking at Nuvola. So we've got a T2 series, which is the entry-level phones. These are potentially going to be phased out over time and replaced with the T3, which I'm going to show you in a few seconds. The T21 is a well-known handset. It's one of the baseline models. It's popular. It's got dual-port Ethernet and 3-way audio conference, and it's a good value phone. It goes up to the SIP T29G, which has got gigabit ports and supports Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, which is really good for an entry-level phone. T3 range, again, it's going to eventually phase out the T2. It's basically just a new, more powerful chip than the T2 range, and there's a few more color screens and a few more bells and whistles on these. The T4 series, which has been around a while, which is a really neat range of phones, generally better designs than the previous ranges, more display room, a few extra security features. It goes all the way up to the T48U, which is relatively new. It's got a 1080p resolution camera, full color touchscreen, and 2 USB ports. And the high end T5, which is, as you can see from my pictures, which hopefully are coming up on the display, basically a sleeker professional design for executive officers and managing directors and important people. As you can see, cameras on the top, full screens, touch screens, adjustable displays, really neat devices. And that's all I'm really going to say about Yealink. You probably know them. We're going to stock these from now on, so really cool to get involved. But I'm going to move on to someone you may not have heard of, or may have, Spectralink. So Spectralink specialise in mobility solutions, basically decked Wi-Fi and smartphones. They were founded in 1990, so they've been doing this for over 30 years, and they've got a focus on voice quality, which is obviously extremely important to some people. Best in class voice technology, which is basically their USP. That's what they've been doing for so long. The devices, I've grappled with a few of these devices, and they're really durable. But Spectralink told me they're lighter than the other kind of enterprise grade devices, and it's true. They do feel really light, but really quality at the same time. Broad interoperability ecosystem, for real legacy systems and for the newest of advanced systems. If you look at the list of vendors which Spectralink works with, it's just humongous. I was going to do a sheet which shows them all, but it's basically too big. There's just too many. It's very unlikely you'll come across a vendor which Spectralink doesn't work with, and obviously Panasonic, it certainly does. The most important thing for me, which I think jumps out, is that it future-proofs it. So if you buy a Spectralink device, and then in a year or two your customer changes from his Panasonic system to something else, hopefully something that we distribute, but basically you don't have to change your system. You can take the Spectralink stuff with it and move it over pretty simply. So that for me is a pretty good selling point. And Spectralink are really good at supporting customers through the life cycle of the device. Spectralink aren't a gargantuan company. They're not humongous. They've got really a hands-on, friendly approach. They're going to help you out with whatever you need. You tell them what system you've got, what premises you've got, what situation you've got. They're going to help you out with speccing whatever you need and suggesting what you might be best to get. This is just to show that it's an end-to-end solution. So obviously, I've just mentioned the voice quality, and there's lots of app partnerships, applications galore, many applications, too many to talk about within 10 minutes, but you can see a few of the little bits there. Barcode scanning is quite a cool one, patient monitoring, many others. And what I'll talk about in a second is the third one, the mobility intelligence, the AMIE, I keep getting that wrong, AMIE, which I'll talk about now. So that stands for Advanced Mobile Intelligence for Enterprises. So it's basically a mobile analytics platform to manage the Spectralink infrastructure, and it diagnoses fleet issues, assesses core performance, etc. This is the dashboard you'll see. It's really cool. You can see all the devices and see what's working well. You can see what devices might need moving about or replacing. So it's a really neat dashboard. I put this on because this you don't see this very often, but I like this one because it tells you all the questions that you might subconsciously ask of this sort of solution. So when do I need to add more capacity? Are my decks maxed out? Are they getting, do I need to add a couple more phones? How are my phones performing? Backups, how much power they're consuming, and a million others. I just thought that was a really cool thing to add, because it just answers so many questions like this. Just a very quick look at a couple of, there's too many ranges and handsets to look at, but just a very quick look at the decked handsets. Really feature rich, really reliable and durable, and it's well worth looking at these. They're really fantastic devices. And also they do a couple of Wi-Fi devices, which there's a few sort of benefits here. Again, really excellent voice quality, interoperability, lightweight, and a smartphone, which is quite unique, really. They do their own smartphone, and I've seen one of these up close. It's really good. I didn't know what to expect from it, from a vendor smartphone, but it's really cool, really light. It feels like a really sort of quality device. And it could be that companies don't want people walking around with their own Apple iPhones or whatever else, and breaking them for whatever reason. And you've got these SpectraLink smartphones which will really fit in nicely, and obviously are managed again by the system I just mentioned. And I think that's about it from me. We've overrun a slight bit, so thanks for listening. Darren. Appreciate it.
You ping it back to me, Darren. That'd be lovely.
I will indeed.
Thank you, sir. Give me 1 second, everyone. Right. Thank you, Darren. Excellent stuff. Excellent. Hopefully that was quite good. So I'm just going to wrap up now. We mentioned before, one of the key things that we do is the marketing side of things. So we appreciate certainly in these times that not everyone has the marketing resource, the skills, the resource, whatever it might be. So please get in touch with us. Say to us, look, I'd really like to do a campaign. I get quite a bit of success in schools, in local government, or in the local transport companies. Let us know. We'll work with you. We can do some specific campaigns, identify maybe why some of the products we have will be successful, build something up, and we'll work with you. And if there's needs funding required, then we again can go to the vendors and talk to them about those sort of things. So please don't hesitate, because we all know the most important deal is the next deal. So let's talk about that. So just going to wrap up, like I say, just again going over some of the key things I said. Panasonic pulling out the market. You can see from all those products complement what you've already sold to your customers. So you can confidently go back into those customers, say, yeah, got a great bit of kit, but now how about looking at the headsets? Do you feel that if you're sending people home, they need a headset or they need to connect into their laptop? Right, we've got a solution there. Some people might say, well, I need some mobile phones, decked, or the Wi-Fi handsets. Okay, we've got something there that's going to fit alongside your Panasonic or whatever product you have. They might say, I'm now looking at hosted, I want to migrate slowly, I want a hybrid. Again, we've got something there. And finally, with the moving away from ISDN and moving to SIP, all those kind of gateway products, it might be something simple as a hotel, which we all know has analog cabling. They need to be able to have some sort of converter which can take it from analog to digital, analog to SIP, whatever it might be. So all these products are there to complement it. And the final piece is, don't be scared of talking to us about it. Say, I've got this situation, give any of the guys a call and say, well, I've got this situation, customer needs X, Y, and Z. How can we deliver that? Give us a call and get in contact. So finally, get in touch, let us know, speak to Jeff, Darren, Mark, and all the team there at Nuvola. Give us a call. Some of you will probably be dealing with Mary. Mary's part of Jeff's team, so again, get in touch with her. Andy obviously is still around, Andy Gallagher on the Panasonic side of things. So again, if you need any resource in that respect, we're here to help. So on that note, I think we're gonna, I don't know whether we've got any questions.
Michael, we haven't got any questions, so everything we've said has been made perfect sense to everyone. I mean, if anyone, it is unusual. If anyone hasn't got any questions, this is the last chance. So go over to the control panel, and there's a question section there. Type your question in there, and we'll give you an instant answer.
Or even if someone has got a question, but by all means, get in touch on the email. Give us a call in the office, whichever way, and we can talk to you. And like I said, if there's any products there you think, okay, I'd like to know a little bit more, again, we can talk through them. We can get demo units out to you, whatever it might be. Okay, I think we're there now. Thank you very much for your time, everyone. And we appreciate you listening, and hopefully speak to you very soon. Thank you very much.